Patriots, we're here with mayoral candidate for the city of Edinburg, Ramiro Garza Jr. Hello.
Hi.
Much congratulations on your successful runoff.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Quick question. When it comes to I know you were for the healthcare tax, the healthcare districts, the Hidalgo Proposition 1 back 2014 and back in 2016, I believe. So one of the concerns was, well, would there be a push for this after, let's say, making it into the mayoral position? Would there be a desire to bring that back in? Would there be any narrative or any agenda to bring back this healthcare district?
No. So the short answer is no.
Okay.
I could not support it moving forward. Just a little background.
Yes.
So back in 2014, 2016, it was part of the School of Medicine. That was looking to be pushed to pass so that there could be local funding tied to School of Medicine, much of how most School of Medicines are funded in Travis County and other parts of the state. That's why I believe in it, because I believe in our School of Medicine to have that as a revenue source.
Yes.
But the reason I could not support it moving forward is two reasons. Number one, we should advocate for the University of Texas system to fully fund our medical school and not rely on local funding such as a healthcare district to fund it.
Right.
And number two, the voters have spoken loud and clear.
Yes.
That's not a way that they wanted for this to be funded,
Yes.
and we need to respect that.
Absolutely. Okay, you heard it from him. He said absolutely not. There it is. This was a question that we had. Yes, the campaign finance report did show that you received quite a few contributions, notable contributions. One such, I think it was Pongo, $10,000. Another was from Mr. Joaquin Spammer, a total of $15,000. And another was, I think it was a member of Border Health PAC at $5,000. So the reasons why these individuals outside Edinburg were contributing so much to your campaign, can you share with us perhaps reasons why?
Sure. So as part of any campaign, it takes obviously a lot of funding to run.
Yes.
These are folks that believe in our message. These are business people that have known me a long time. They know my character. They know my integrity, my high ethical values,
Yes.
and all the experience that I've had. None of them are contributing because of anything in return. In fact, they're contributing because they want to see Edinburg prosper, and they believe in my message in terms of I'm not accepting contributions from vendors that do business with the city, that have a contract providing a service to the city, and so they would like to see that all across South Texas. They believe in our message, our platform, to bring back trust into our city, to initiate a 2040 vision plan, and to bring economic opportunities for all. And again, that you would have to ask them directly, specifically why, but I will tell you that I've known them a long time. They're business people,
Okay.
and they believe in our campaign and our message.
Beautiful. All right, so something for something, no mas, and also transparency.
That is correct. They believe in that. In fact, they couldn't believe when they saw that my pledge was not to take money from vendors. Vendors should not feel, if you have a small business and you want to provide a service to the city, you should not feel compelled to donate to a political campaign. You should not. And that's why I want to adopt that as part of my code of ethics, as part of when I can come in as mayor.
Okay, all right, we appreciate that.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. It is a huge topic right now for the citizens of Edinburg, and it is the taxes. Boy, it's 68 cents, the highest it's ever been. The citizens need relief. Would there be relief? Is that one of your top priorities going in, if you make it in to this mayoral position for the city of Edinburg for the first year, let's say?
Yeah, I believe there needs to be some relief, but we do need to go in there and evaluate our financial condition for the city,
Okay.
because three things have happened the last 3 or 4 years. Number one, our taxes have been raised by 4.5 cents. Our debt service has increased by about 3 times. For the city of our size, that is obviously quite a bit, actually for any city of that size.
Yes.
And then of course our growth has been there consistently. We're now over 100,000 people. There's more revenue coming into the city, and so we should evaluate to see how we can become more efficient as a city to operate so that we can provide and look to some relief. Now the current budget has been approved. for 22, but we are looking at for this next fiscal year to evaluate to see if that is something that we could do.
Okay, absolutely. We're happy to hear that. And it would be safe to say, perhaps maybe as far as a time frame, a year, 2 years, where they can actually start to see some relief, some decline of this burden.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we're in a current budget year, so the next fiscal year, within about a year, is when we could adopt a new budget. And in that new budget, we have to adopt a tax rate, right, at that point. And I think it's at that point that we can evaluate to see that is something we could do. I happen to think that I believe we could. But again, we got to go in to evaluate everything, but that it is something that should be looked at starting in a year.
For the citizens of Edinburgh to have to go through that. Now I can understand why we had a curbside voting. We had more curbside voting turnout than actually people walking in. And maybe that's why, this is just a question, okay? Maybe that's why voter turnout has been so low these past few years. So those that have allowed that, what a disgrace. My question, would there be any ordinances, city ordinances, that would be considered that would help pacify all of this and prevent all of this from erupting the way that it has?
Thank you. Great question. I was out there with y'all, and I would agree with that. I believe there should be an ordinance. I will share with y'all, for those of you that may not know, the county elections office who's running the election, okay, not the city. But the city could work with the county to establish some kind of ordinance of sorts. It's called an electioneering ordinance. As a matter of fact, I'm very proud to say that I actually got with the candidates early on, before the election, early voting started, and I actually got the ordinances from FAR and the city of Westlake. They do have ordinances in place that have some kind of orderly conduct, at the polling location. And I actually got the ordinances, I read them, and I came up with a petition for the county. Well, I took it to the city, and the city said, we're not running the election. I said, okay, great. Who do I go to? They go to the county. So I went to the county, and I talked to them about having something in place. And I didn't know if we could have something in place. So what I did is I got with all the other candidates that were running, all 10 of them. And I asked them if they could sign a petition. Most all of them signed it. Not everybody signed it. But most of them signed it. And guess what? The county agreed to it. So what that did, that petition, it used to be that you used to have to sleep there to get a good spot at the polling site. I'm not kidding you. Up until this one. So I'm very, very proud. And I'm not saying just because I did that, we did it together with the other candidates that signed that petition. I'm happy to share that petition with you. And the county actually went and designated spaces for us candidates. They gave us 2 parking spaces. Y'all saw that. Y'all were out there. And how were they designated? We actually drew numbers to see, just like you draw a place on the ballot, right? And we did that. And it worked great. And I think y'all saw where my camp was, right? I was right in the middle. I don't think you saw any of that take place there because we all, were there, together. We're all there I respect anyone that runs for office, even my opposition. It takes a lot. It's a lot of sacrifice. And, we all have families, we all have business, we all have our jobs. But it's about serving the community. We're doing this because we believe in our community. I myself have worked in Edinburgh for 15 years. So I love our community. And, we need to take care of our community. But so the answer to your question is yes, absolutely. The only thing is that I'll say is that as a city, we can have an ordinance, but if the counties run the election, we got to make sure they also adopt the same ordinance. So I would say if you talk to the county, advocate with them to do the same. Because actually that way you can have it county-wide. Because the county runs the elections for almost all the cities, including the county election, including the primary election coming up in March. So, they've already started with this designation of space. Let's just make it and add, the electioneering, right? The other things that go on, just to have a more orderly, peaceful way for people to go vote. So absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.